Are you curious about financial literacy? Then take a look at Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO's new program on Parrot TV. It's called Financial Focus University. This is an excellent program to learn about questions related to your own finances post-COVID, and how you can manage your money, how you can work with your tax situation. And this is an excellent and informative discussion of financial literacy. With Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO, your financial problems will be solved at Parrot TV with Financial Focus University. America Open Market, AO Market. The best digital market for humanity is a free, multilingual, borderless market open to international sellers with various languages included. With America Open Market, you may start selling in minutes after filling out the form. Comprehensive dashboard where you understand your sales, orders, and customers is available. You get paid directly, securely, and instantly on the America Open Market. You can sell your house, car, electronic laptop, CD player, boombox, phone, headphones, furniture, and clothing, and anything on AmericaOpenMarket.com where all your sales and customer needs are met. Register as a merchant today. You will not regret becoming a vendor at America Open Market. For further inquiries, contact us at aomarket@gmail.com. AO Market, best digital marketplace for humanity.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy July 1st. Welcome to Financial Focus University. I am your host and teacher. My name is Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO. I am also the founder of a 25-year financial money management firm, which, by the way, Tuesday, July 2nd, we celebrate our 26th year of the Financial Advisors Group. I'm also the current CEO of a financial advisory virtual firm called RIVIECCIO Financial Advisors. Some of you might know me as a professor here in New York, where I teach personal finance for both Herbert H. Lehman and Monroe College. But most importantly, I am your host today to talk about what is happening in our economy. So welcome, everyone. And let me give you some elements of our show. We're going to cover 3 important items today. Our first item is Bidenomics. Which way is our economy going? How has the market done since the beginning of the year? And we're going to dive into that a little bit. And then we're going to go into our second segment, how to protect your 401k plan, right? I couldn't think of a better time to have a brief conversation as to how to protect your retirement plan and understanding actually the basis of that retirement plan. We'll talk about that in a few moments. And then our third and final segment, ladies and gentlemen, is we'll talk about a segment. It's a new segment called The Professor's Opinion. And I'm going to give you my opinion about this weekend's July 4th and hamburgers. So, talking about those items, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with Bidenomics. And when we talk about Bidenomics, like we always do, we talk about the economic indicators of the week, right? So we talk about from Monday all the way to Friday. So let's talk about all of the info that came in this week. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a lot of information. So when we go to the first slide, you'll see that all of the information, and I have most of it here. First, retail sales have been reported to the government. And year over year, they went up 8%. That's a very, very good number. Business spending, right? Small business, big business, virtual business, that number has come in as well. And it is now currently at the lowest level since pre-pandemic times. Very troubling. Business investment obviously is going down. The Federal Reserve Board, ladies and gentlemen, you may not know this, but for several reasons years ago, our government created what was called a stress test. If they were going to give them FDIC insurance, the government had to be sure that they passed certain rules and regulations to make sure that your money was covered, right? And that included certain bank deposits. Well, that it's a quarterly test. The Federal Reserve Board just finished, and every bank passed. There were times that banks didn't pass and they got fined and warning because of that. But this quarter, everybody passed. So that's a good sign, right? Jobless claims. Well, jobless claims this week slightly went down. G7. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not know what G7 is, and I got into it technically. We'll be here for the next half hour, so I'm going to give you the short version. It is 7 members internationally from other governments that control international monetary policy. Layman's terms, they control interest rates up and down. These 7 economies, of course, control a great element of our wealth in the economy. I would say as far as 90%. So what did they say this week? Well, as a group, they were very adamant. They said, our number one goal, because it's happening globally, is that we have to concentrate on keeping inflation down. And the only tool they really have to do that is to keep making interest rates go up. So they sort of pre-announced their future intention. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 2 items, these numbers came out the later part of the week. Personal income, right? Well, we'll talk about personal spending in a minute. Personal income went up 6% year over year. Somewhat of a healthy indicator, correct? Consumer spending. Yeah, now people don't want to spend as much as they used to, right? Why? Obviously because of inflation. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the information for the week. Let me just have you think of one thing as you look at this slide for the last time. What is not in this slide is the current level of inflation. The current level of inflation year over year is about 10%, right? So if these numbers are not over 10%, then everything here automatically is getting devalued, right? Now, the markets know this. So when we look at the next slide, what did the markets say when all this information came out? They said, oh my God, on Monday, we're going to go down. They went down 0.3%. On Tuesday, they decided to go down a lot more at negative 2.2%. On Wednesday, they also went down. As you can see, we have a bad week. It went down 0.1%. On Thursday, it also went down 0.3%. But today, being Friday, and I'm sure when you turn on the news, you're going to hear all about it. We had a great day, the last day of the week, the last day of the quarter. We closed at a positive 1.0%. So we had a down week, but a great day. And I guess because July 4th is coming, we're supposed to close it on a good note. Well, remember, I'm going to talk about hamburgers in a few minutes. So when we go to the next slide, how did the markets look for the week? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the stock market for the week, as you can see, was a negative 1.7%. I'm sorry, 1.9%. Forgive me. The 2-year Treasury bond. The 2-year Treasury bond last week was at 3.04%. It went down. It is now at 2.83%. That's a negative 7% in value. The 10-year bond was at 3.14% last week. It is now closed today at 2.88% or a negative 8.13%. Ladies and gentlemen, just very quickly to stay on bonds for a moment. I know I'm going to hit you with a concept might be a little hard to understand, but I think it's very important. You have to understand that interest rates and the value of bonds have an inverse relationship. So all things being equal, right? When interest rates come down, the value of the bonds go up. So in simple terms, give you a simple example. if you decided to buy a 2-year bond last week, what did I say the rates were last week? That rate would say, right, pretend you have a 2-year bond in your hand and it actually says 3.04%. That's what it's worth. But now this week, as you can see, the 2-year bond is at 2.83%. But ladies and gentlemen, you can sell your bond at 3.04%, right? So for someone that's doing a transaction today, they're losing 7% in value. But to the seller that wants to sell it, now that rates have gone down, right? Think of it as a collectible. Think of it as I'm making this up now for a moment, as a Rolex, right? What the value of that collectible was versus today, right? That collectible is going to have more value. So when interest rates go down, the value of bonds that were being held prior normally go up. Current bonds from here to today, well, as you can see, they're going to go down in value. I apologize. I just wanted to give a little better description than that. So let's get back to the stock market. So for 26 weeks, right, we're now at the 26-week mark. How did the market do? The market from January 1 did a negative 17.5%. And ladies and gentlemen, when we look at the Bob Press Index, which is generated now for 17 weeks, because remember, after about 2 months, Robert gave me a call. I am not his financial advisor. As Bob has indicated, he's got millions in the market. It must be because he says he's a political expert. That's another story. But he says to me, you know, Anthony, the market is like really doing haywire stuff. And it was the early part of the year. What should I do? And I couldn't give him any specific advice because, again, he's not a client. But I did tell him, you know, I'm a little concerned. Things are going on. He said, Anthony, I'm all in. So he 17 weeks ago, he was still all in. And his record as of 17 weeks is 10.8%. So, ladies and gentlemen, even though we had a bad week, more importantly, for the year, we are looking at levels of negative 18%. Ladies and gentlemen, that is now being recorded, as you might hear this weekend, as the worst first half of the year in over 50 years. Very dangerous situation, ladies and gentlemen. Let me share with you, though, a little piece of non-stock market analysis for a moment, if I might. This chart you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with supply chain fees. These are import and export fees, just the United States, that, you know, that transactions take place. And as you can see in that chart, ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice that the beginning of this year, those import-export fees started to go down, right? So now when you're shipping out goods and services, the costs of that are cheaper. Now, some people say, well, it's still not getting the market. Well, that's not what this chart indicates, right? This chart just indicates that transactions are now cheaper. But I would also fail to believe that that is the whole problem, as some people have said, that it is supply chain. If I'm an exporter and I know that my fees are lower at this current point in time, I'm going to sell it. And I'm going to sell it as quick and as easy as I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's summarize the week of Bidenomics. Our United States economy, ladies and gentlemen, works through consumer spending, investment spending, government spending, and trade. And as we see, the first half of the year, consumer spending is low. Investment spending is low. Government spending is even more lower, right? We don't get those stimulus checks that we used to get. Joe Biden is already on record. We got to lower the budget deficit. So government spending is going to go down. So is there anything here that's going up? Yeah, trade, international trade. And this is probably, of course, part of the reason, because fees are going down. But ladies and gentlemen, international trade in our economy only affects 10% of its overall economy. In other governments, that might be different. Trade might be 20%, 30%, 40%, but for us, it's 10%. So how do we summarize all this up? Ladies and gentlemen, as I've always continued to say, and I will say it, and you can feel free to give me a call if I can be of any assistance, go see a financial advisor, learn how to diversify. But if you want a tip on that, we'll talk about that, especially if you own a 401k plan. We'll be back in a moment.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're glad to have you. And let me give this out real quickly. Grab a pen, because I always do this and then I forget to give it out. My phone number direct is 347-575-5045. Feel free to give me a call if you need any general advice, or more importantly, if you want to be one of our show sponsors. We would love to have your goods and services on our show. But let's talk about your 401k plan for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard me do the Bidenomics report. And of course, it's not good news. And in today's America, ladies and gentlemen, most hardworking people do not have a pension today. They now have a 401k. So that burden has now been transferred to you. So we're going to talk about how you should start handling that burden, considering that interest rates are very mixed at the moment, and more importantly, you're seeing your value go down very, very deep. So, how do we protect our 401k plan from risk? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want
America Open Market, AO Market. The best digital market for humanity is a free multilingual borderless market open to international sellers with various languages included. With America Open Market, you may start selling in minutes after filling out the form. Comprehensive dashboard where you understand your sales, orders, and customers is available. You get paid directly, securely, and instantly on the America Open Market. You can sell your house, car, electronic laptop, CD player, boombox, phone, headphones, furniture, and clothing, and anything on AmericaOpenMarket.com where all your sales and customer needs are met. Register as a merchant today. You will not regret becoming a vendor at America Open Market. For further inquiries, contact us at aomarket@gmail.com. AO Market, best digital marketplace for humanity. Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing World Inkers Monthly Magazine is a fine source for your literary interests. It's an all-source magazine with poetry, prose, and essays and articles, as well as interviews. It's all full-color art and photography from a variety of voices and artists. You will find this magazine entertaining. This is an all-purpose readership, and we are looking for new voices. This sleek, full-color edition of World Inker's monthly magazine will be something pleasant for your eyes as well as for your mind. And we're looking for authors for one book promotion in the magazine. If you're a business, we want to promote your business. You may submit your book reviews, your academic or non-academic articles on the humanities and the arts, as well as your literary writing and creative output to publication.worldinkers@gmail.com. World Inkers Monthly Magazine does not spare any ink. Keep inking for World Inkers Monthly Magazine.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I should say welcome back to me, right? I apologize. Believe it or not, I had all these phone calls that all of a sudden booted me, right? This is part of our wonderful technology today. I'm glad none of my clients jumped off the roof, right, after hearing all of those bad numbers. And yes, the client that called me does have a 401k plan. So let's get back to your 401ks. And again, I apologize for the inconvenience. So when we talk about protecting your 401k in very simple terms, let's talk about some common steps. And when we go to the next slide, ladies and gentlemen, let's take something basic. Okay, your 401k statement is being created right now, your quarterly statement. By the time they put it in the mail, remember there's a holiday, you'll probably get it maybe Friday of next week, maybe the 11th, 12th. And when you open it, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, you're going to start to have a heart attack. And the first thing I want you to do is don't panic. Inhale, exhale. And then I want you to make sure, if you haven't done it already, to make sure that your emergency fund account is still funded. When we talk about diversifying your money, ladies and gentlemen, forget about stocks and bonds for a moment. Make sure you have 3 to 6 months of emergency money in the bank, and that money is not geared towards saving. It's not geared towards investment. It's geared towards any emergency. So at this moment in time, the way the markets are going, you want to be sure after you inhale, exhale, that is the first thing you do. If you have that already, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Now, the next thing you should do is make sure that if you want to still contribute, that your employer is still matching, right? Some companies, of course, match dollar for dollar. Some match 50 cents to the dollar. There's a lot of them do it on percentages. Some do it on 4%, 6%, 10%. That would be the exact right time to call your human resource department and find out how the matching is going. I'm sure everything is on schedule, but you want a better idea of all this extra free money, right? Because that's really what it is, right? It's free money ends. So your human resource department can tell you that. And then to get to your 401k directly, right? Because those 3 areas had to do sort of non-directly with your 401k. So the 4th item, your 401k directly, what should you do? Ladies and gentlemen, you should rebalance. You should diversify. Make sure you do not have all of your eggs in one basket. I find sometimes with clients and their 401k, they don't even know what baskets they have. So it's very important that we start to first understand the kind of baskets that your money is in your 401k, and then of course diversify them along the way, right? We forget, for example, that stocks, I don't care what stock you own, in the world of risk versus reward, stocks are going to give you the most reward. But with that most reward, you're going to be taking the most risk. Sound good? Yes, you're good. No? Well, then you got to learn how to diversify. And that means maybe you want to look at more fixed income items, right? Like savings, like CDs, like annuities, like bonds, where they're going to give you a lesser reward, than what you got before, but of course you're going to be taking lesser risk than what you did before. So when we go to the next slide, ladies and gentlemen, let me answer the question that's probably in your mind right now. These are the ones that I'm starting to get a whole bunch of phone calls on. On the next slide, and it's right on top. It pretty much says, where is the safest place to put it, right? And forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just waiting for the next slide to come about, but I'll start speaking ahead of time. The safest place to put it, ladies and gentlemen, is in low risk investments, as you heard me mention before, right? Your birthday cake, your 401k plan should be heavily invested in low risk investments, but it should very much so have a sprinkle on top of stocks, of growth related items. So what am I saying? I like to use a phrase when I talk to my clients. It's safety versus risky versus reward. And what that is, ladies and gentlemen, is an analysis of asset allocation and diversification. Asset allocation and diversification helps you sleep at night because you don't have all your eggs in one basket. Asset allocation and diversification are the areas of knowing when you want your money to grow and when you want it to calm down. The sole purpose of your 401k is retirement. We have to remember that as well. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize that the slides are not moving, or maybe my screen is stuck. See, where is the safest place? There you go. Now we just went over that slide. So let's go to the next slide. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the ultimate retirement question. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm 62 years old. So there was in my time something called the pension account. And they taught us that when you retire, your retirement income is going to come from 3 places. It's going to come from your pension account. It's going to come from your savings account, your personal savings account, and then Social Security. And in a perfect world, ladies and gentlemen, they should all be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, right? And what should those amounts hopefully be at the end? They should match your annual amount of money that you need, right, for that year. Well, that's how it worked in the old days, ladies and gentlemen. That's not how it works today. Today, you still get Social Security. Today, hopefully, you're still saving. But now the pension, which was a guaranteed investment vehicle from your employer to the employee, is now gone. That's gone. And what has replaced it? The 401k plan. Why isn't it guaranteed by your employer? Because as we're talking, ladies and gentlemen, the 401k plan just doesn't have guaranteed investments in it. They also have risk-related investments in it. And therefore, the job of managing the money, the job of saving the money, the job of monitoring the money is now on us. It is now on you. So we have to be sure that we have enough money now in our 401k, making sure it's growing correctly at the right age that you want to retire, because we don't have that pension anymore. And of course, you have to be sure we're still doing our savings, right? Despite what you're going to be hearing, the Social Security is still there. If anything, Social Security is going up. I had a client that, not a client, I had a friend that asked me the other day, as a matter of fact, Mr. Robert Press, our favorite index man, right? He gets Social Security. He asked me what was the rate. You should know that come January 1, it's going to be 5.8%. So it's going to be looking very, very well. But ladies and gentlemen, the best way to protect your 401k is to sit down with your investment advisor, talk about asset allocation, talk about diversification. And if you want to get a little cute, you could even mention this show as to the source of where you got it from. Ask them about the rule of 100, because the rule of 100, and I'll save that for a future show, helps when it comes to asset allocation. We've just had the worst investment season basically on record. So please don't let your 401k sit there, and do not have your heart attack when you get your statement. Anyone need any help? 347-575-5045. We'll be back in a moment.
America Open Market, AO Market. The best digital market for humanity is a free multilingual borderless market open to international sellers with various languages included. With America Open Market, you may start selling in minutes after filling out the form. Comprehensive dashboard where you understand your sales, orders, and customers is available. You get paid directly, securely, and instantly on the America Open Market. You can sell your house, car, electronic laptop, CD player, boombox, phone, headphones, furniture, and clothing, and anything on AmericaOpenMarket.com where all your sales and customer needs are met. Register as a merchant today. You will not regret becoming a vendor at America Open Market. For further inquiries, contact us at aomarket@gmail.com. AO Market, best digital marketplace for humanity.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Our final segment has to do with my opinion. Oh my God, I got one. Yes, it's called the Professor's Opinion. And it has to do this week, ladies and gentlemen, with two items. One of them is July 4th in hamburgers. And the second, which I'm going to get to very quickly right now, is congratulations to everyone that works in the Financial Advisors Group. My team, as you heard me mention earlier, tomorrow we celebrate our 26th anniversary. What some people do know, so a lot of people may not, but you will now know this as well, is that today is my last day of being the CEO of that firm. I sold the majority of the firm a year ago, staying on as CEO up until tomorrow, where I will now be in control of my financial service firm, virtual one. But I want to congratulate everybody that worked with me for the last 25 years. If for any other reason, because they're still alive, because I've been told I'm a terrible person to work for. So, number two, and let's get to our chart, the Professor's Opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, we're celebrating July 4th. Isn't that wonderful? It's America's holiday. And we got this wonderful habit of wanting to celebrate America's holiday, and we want to go out. We want to go out. We want to have a barbecue. We want to invite friends over. And ladies and gentlemen, when you wake up when you wake up to go shopping this weekend, you're going to see a wonderful man and a wonderful woman. And the names of them are called inflation. So if you're planning on having a summer cookout this year, with say a party of 10, your bill has just gone up 17%. Ground beef, hamburgers. Oh boy, I'm ready. They went up 36%. I don't know how many extra I can cook, or I don't know how many extra I'm going to get. Chicken, pork. Chicken and pork also went up. They went up 30% year over year. So ladies and gentlemen, when you do your shopping this weekend, before you get your 401k statement, don't have a heart attack either. But I can give you one alternative idea. Maybe you want to serve them strawberries. Maybe you want to serve them cheese. Strawberries went down 16%. Cheese went down 13%. Yuck. Ladies and gentlemen, happy July 4th. Happy America. Stay financially focused. Have a good weekend. See you next week.
Are you curious about financial literacy? Then take a look at Professor Anthony RIVIECCIO's new program on Parrot TV. It's called Financial Focus University. This is an excellent program to learn about questions related to your own finances post-COVID, and how you can manage your money, how you can work with your tax situation. And this is an excellent and informative discussion of financial literacy. With Professor